The love and hip-hop Atlanta world just got turned upside down. Tasha K has officially dropped bombshell receipts exposing Ashley's secret affair with Mendeecees. And the drama is beyond anything fans could have imagined. Social media erupted within minutes, with fans dissecting every post, every screenshot, and every hint of betrayal. The tension is real. The fallout promises to be explosive. Insiders say this isn't just a minor scandal. This is the kind of revelation that shakes relationships to their core, leaving trust shattered and loyalties questioned. Ashley, long seen as a central figure in the drama, now finds herself in the center of a storm she may not have been fully prepared for. Meanwhile, Mendeecees, whose past relationships have always been under public scrutiny, is now facing intense backlash and scrutiny over choices fans never expected him to make. Tasha K, known for her fearless reporting and unapologetic approach to celebrity news, didn't hold back. The receipts she released reveal private conversations, unfiltered messages, and insider accounts that fans are analyzing in real time. Every detail has sparked debate online. Was this a moment of weakness, a lapse in judgment, or a deliberate choice that will forever alter the dynamics of LHHATL? For fans, this isn't just news, it's a full-blown reality TV event unfolding in real life. Relationships, reputations, and careers hang in the balance, and every new revelation adds fuel to the fire. The question now is, how will Ashley and Mendeecees respond? And what does this mean for everyone caught in the middle of the storm? Backstage tension had been building for weeks, but no one expected it to reach the boiling point that night. The set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was buzzing with its usual energy crew moving cameras, producers coordinating shots, and cast members preparing for their scenes, but underneath it all, a storm was brewing that no one could ignore. Tasha K's post had already gone live on social media, and the news of Ashley's secret affair with Mendeecees spread like wildfire. Within minutes, fans were flooding Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with reactions, dissecting every detail of the receipts she had shared. Some were shocked, some outraged, and others were simply in disbelief. Backstage, the cast and crew felt the tension rise with every notification pinging their phones. Ashley arrived first, her usually confident demeanor slightly off-kilter. She was visibly anxious, checking her phone repeatedly, her eyes darting to Jim and other cast members passing by. She tried to maintain composure, but the weight of Tasha K's revelations hung heavily over her. Every text message, every screenshot that had been made public now painted a picture of betrayal, secrecy, and scandal that could no longer be contained. Mendeecees arrived shortly after, looking tense and guarded. He knew what had been exposed, and he could feel the eyes of everyone backstage on him. For months, he had tried to keep his private life separate from the cameras, but now it was impossible. The receipts Tasha K released left little room for interpretation, and the scrutiny was immediate and intense. Producers quickly called a meeting with key cast members, including Ashley and Mendeecees, trying to strategize how to manage the chaos. Cameras were rolling as always, but the focus was now on damage control. Jim Jones, Tone, and others exchanged worried glances, aware that the revelations could escalate tension not just between Ashley and Mendeecees, but across the entire cast. Ashley attempted to explain, her voice shaky. I didn't think anyone would ever know. It was a mistake, and I never meant for it to get out like this. But the room was filled with murmurs and sideways glances, and even her closest allies struggled to respond. The receipts showed more than a fleeting lapse. They revealed conversations, late-night meets, and exchanges that left no room for doubt. Mendeecees' defense was careful, but strained. I take responsibility for my part in this, he admitted, his voice low. But I also want to make it clear that I never wanted this to hurt anyone. It wasn't supposed to become public knowledge. His eyes met Ashley's briefly. A mixture of guilt and frustration mirrored in his expression. The cameras captured every nuance, every flicker of emotion, leaving no doubt that the scandal would dominate the season's storyline. Backstage, tension was palpable. Cast members whispered in corners, trying to process the information while maintaining their composure on camera. Some were visibly frustrated, others incredulous. But everyone understood that the affair had shifted the dynamics completely. Alliances that had seemed stable were now under question. And relationships both on and off camera were being tested like never before, Tasha. Kay's receipts didn't just expose the affair, they created an environment of suspicion, tension, and emotional volatility. Crew members reported that the atmosphere was so thick with unease that even routine filming felt charged. Every step Ashley or Mendeecees took was scrutinized. Every glance analyzed. The scandal had become a ripple effect, influencing interactions among the entire cast. Ashley tried to regroup in her dressing room. Scrolling through the flood of social media reactions, messages ranged from supportive to accusatory, and the sheer volume was overwhelming. She realized that the personal fallout was far beyond what she had imagined. The receipts had stripped away any privacy she thought she had, and now she faced the challenge of navigating not only public opinion, but also the reactions of her closest friends and allies. Meanwhile, Mendeecees sought counsel from Tone and other close friends who advised caution and patience. "Don't let this escalate further," Tone warned. "Keep calm, stay composed, and focus on handling the narrative. The fans already have what they need. Now it's about how you respond." The day wore on with filming continuing, but every scene carried a heavy undertone. Dialogue delivery, facial expressions, and reactions were all under the microscope, both from cameras and from social media audiences analyzing every moment. Each interaction between Ashley and Mendeecees became a focal point, their body language, tone, and proximity providing endless fodder for fans and critics alike. By evening, tensions reached another peak. Ashley and Mendeecees had a private confrontation away from cameras, trying to address the fallout and clarify intentions. "I never wanted this to get out," Ashley said, her voice shaking. "I made mistakes, but I also didn't want to hurt anyone." Mendeecees responded carefully. "We can't change what happened, but we have to be smart about what happens next." The cameras saw everything, and now so did the world. The gravity of their situation was undeniable. Their private missteps had become public spectacle, forcing them to navigate not only personal guilt but also public judgment. As the night concluded, producers and crew reflected on the intensity of the day. The affair, the leaked receipts, and the emotional fallout had shifted the entire dynamic of the set. Relationships were strained, alliances questioned, and the emotional weight was heavy for everyone involved. It was clear that this scandal wasn't just a plot point for the cameras. It was a turning point that would influence storylines, character interactions, and the personal lives of those involved. Ashley and Mendeecees both retreated separately to process the day's events, knowing that the road ahead would require careful navigation. They understood that public perception, personal relationships, and on-camera dynamics were all intertwined, and every decision would have repercussions. The night marked the beginning of a long, emotionally charged journey. Trust had been fractured, loyalties questioned, and reputations challenged. As the set emptied and the lights dimmed, one thing was certain. The affair revealed by Tasha K had forever changed the landscape of love and hip-hop Atlanta, and no one backstage or on-screen would be unaffected by the explosive revelations. The morning after, Tasha K dropped the explosive receipts. The Love and Hip Hop Atlanta set felt different. The usual chatter, laughter, and hustle of production were replaced with hushed whispers and nervous glances. Everyone backstage knew that the events of the previous day had shifted the dynamic irreversibly. Ashley and Mendeecees were walking a tightrope, balancing fallout from their exposed secret with the need to continue filming without letting emotions spiral further. Ashley arrived first, looking tense and guarded. Her usual polished appearance was overshadowed by fatigue and anxiety. The leaked messages and screenshots Tasha K shared had made their way to every phone in the building. And whispers from cast members, crew, and producers followed her everywhere. Every glance seemed loaded with judgment. Every step felt like it carried the weight of scrutiny. She tried to keep her composure, focusing on her lines and upcoming scenes. But the emotional drain was evident. Mendeecees entered shortly after, visibly stressed. He had spent the night strategizing with close friends and allies on how to handle the public fallout. His normally confident presence was subdued, replaced with a careful calculation in his movements and interactions. Both he and Ashley knew that even the smallest slip could reignite the scandal and magnify the drama tenfold. Producers called for a private meeting with both of them to discuss how to proceed. The goal was clear: manage the narrative, avoid further public conflict, and salvage the integrity of the show's storyline. Cameras were off, but the emotional stakes were higher than ever. "I know this is a nightmare," Ashley said quietly, her voice tinged with frustration and fear. "I didn't expect Tasha K to go public with everything. I never wanted to hurt anyone. It just happened." Her hands fidgeted as she spoke, betraying the stress she tried to hide behind her words. Mendeecees nodded, his jaw tight. "I get it, Ashley. But now that it's out, we need to handle it smartly. We can't let this ruin us or the people around us. Every move counts, and the cameras will catch everything." The producers emphasized caution. "You both need to act carefully, not just for yourselves, but for the entire cast and crew. The narrative can't spiral out of control. We need to make sure the story stays focused, even if the scandal dominates social media." Back on set, the dynamic was tense. Every interaction between Ashley and Mendeecees carried the residual weight of the leaked affair. Even minor gestures, fleeting glances, and simple exchanges were interpreted as signs of guilt, reconciliation, or continued deception. The cameras, ever present, captured every nuance, and fans at home analyzed each frame with relentless scrutiny. Crew members whispered about how the scandal had thrown the cast into a state of hyper-awareness. Alliances that seemed solid before were now questioned. Friends and confidants were forced to choose sides or remain neutral, navigating a complex web of trust and perception. The leaked receipts didn't just expose Ashley and Mendeecees. They rippled through the set, impacting relationships across the board. During a break, Ashley confided in a trusted friend. "I feel trapped," she admitted quietly. "Everywhere I go, people are watching, judging." The messages Tasha K released: "It's like my private life no longer exists." Her friend nodded, offering support while acknowledging the public stakes. "This isn't just personal anymore. It's public property. You have to be strategic about your responses and your actions." Mendeecees, meanwhile, met with Tone and other close allies to discuss damage control. "We can't let this escalate," Tone warned. "Stay composed, avoid unnecessary drama, and think through every interaction. The receipts are out there, and the world is watching." Despite their efforts to maintain composure, the emotional strain was visible. Filming scenes that required intimacy or trust became particularly challenging. Every hug, handshake, and casual conversation carried weight, as if each interaction might reignite the scandal or be scrutinized by viewers. Production staff had to be vigilant, monitoring not just camera angles, but the emotional climate on set. By afternoon, whispers from other cast members intensified. Rumors about Ashley and Mendeecees' motives, the timing of the affair, and their reactions to the leak circulated quickly, adding fuel to the fire. Even those who weren't directly involved felt the tension, with arguments breaking out over perceived slights and misinterpretations. Ashley attempted a private conversation with Mendeecees away from the cameras. "I can't keep doing this if it keeps coming out sideways," she said, frustration and vulnerability in her voice. "Every mistake I've made is public now. It's exhausting." Mendeecees responded cautiously, understanding the gravity of the situation. "I know, Ashley. But we also have to be smart. We can't control Tasha K or the public, but we can control how we respond and what we let escalate." Their conversation was raw and honest, highlighting the tension between personal accountability and public perception. The day ended with both Ashley and Mendeecees retreating to private areas to decompress. The weight of the leaked receipts, public scrutiny, and strained relationships had taken a toll, leaving both exhausted and emotionally raw. Crew members and producers reflected on the intensity of the day, recognizing that the affair had transformed the dynamics of the cast and set forever as night fell. It was clear that the scandal wasn't just a temporary bump in the storyline, it had the potential to define this season. Every decision, interaction, and emotion would now be under the microscope. Not just from the cameras, but from an entire audience invested in the drama. Trust, loyalty, and relationships were all on fragile ground. And both Ashley and Mendeecees understood that navigating the fallout would be one of the hardest challenges they had faced in their personal and professional lives. By the time this set quieted down, one undeniable fact remained. The receipts dropped by Tasha K had irrevocably changed the course of events on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and the emotional and social consequences were only beginning to unfold. Ashley and Mendeecees faced a long, challenging road ahead, one that would test their resilience, honesty, and the strength of their personal bonds in the harsh light of fame and public scrutiny. The morning after another tense night, the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta set was electric with anticipation. The scandal surrounding Ashley and Mendeecees had shifted the atmosphere entirely. Crew members whispered in corners, cast members exchanged cautious glances, and everyone backstage understood that the events revealed by Tasha K had created a new reality, one where trust was fragile. Emotions ran high and the public eye was unrelenting. Ashley arrived first, walking cautiously through the hallways. Her usually confident stride was tempered by fatigue and anxiety. The social media fallout from the leaked receipts was relentless. Fans had analyzed every text, every screenshot, and every hint of impropriety. The pressure of being both a cast member and a public figure intensified the weight she carried. Every interaction was scrutinized. And even minor missteps could be blown out of proportion. Mendeecees followed shortly after, appearing calm on the surface but visibly tense underneath. His strategies from the previous night, private conversations with friends and allies, planning damage control, and carefully considering his public statements were still at the forefront of his mind. The affair had not only exposed his actions, but had also complicated his relationships with the cast, the crew, and the public. Producers arranged a private mediation session to attempt to address the rising tensions. Cameras were off, but the stakes couldn't have been higher. Ashley and Mendeecees sat across from each other, both exhausted yet alert. The conversation began cautiously. "I can't believe it got out like this," Ashley said quietly, her voice carrying both anger and vulnerability. "Everything we tried to keep private is now public. I feel like I'm constantly walking on eggshells." Mendeecees responded with measured calm. "I know, and I take responsibility. But we can't undo what happened. The best we can do is handle it moving forward, carefully, and with respect for each other and the people around us." The conversation shifted from blame to problem solving. They discussed how to navigate filming while managing the public fallout. Every scene had the potential to exacerbate tensions or fuel speculation. And both understood that emotional restraint was crucial. Back on set, the tension was palpable. Every casual interaction was analyzed, every glance interpreted as a sign of reconciliation or continued deception. Crew members found themselves mediating silently, ensuring that nothing escalated while cameras rolled. The energy on set was heavy, charged with the unspoken drama of betrayal and emotional strain. Fans watching at home dissected every frame, interpreting body language, tone, and facial expressions. Social media was ablaze with commentary, some expressing outrage, others sympathizing with Ashley or Mendeecees, and many speculating about the long-term impact on the cast and the show itself. The leaked receipts weren't just evidence, they were catalysts for a series of events that would shape relationships, alliances, and the season's storyline. During a break, Ashley confided in a close friend. "I can't keep feeling like this," she admitted. "Everything is public and everyone has an opinion. I feel exposed in ways I never expected." Her friend offered reassurance. "You're not alone. But you have to decide how much of this you let control your life. Focus on what you can manage and don't get dragged into unnecessary drama. Mendeecees, meanwhile, spoke privately with Tone and other allies. "We need to stay calm and collected," he said. "The receipts are out there. The world already knows. Now it's about how we respond, how we act, and how we protect ourselves and the people we care about." Filming that day was intense. Scenes that would normally be routine were now layered with tension, emotion, and the knowledge that viewers were scrutinizing every movement. Ashley and Mendeecees had to navigate personal emotions, public perception, and professional obligations all at once. The stakes were higher than ever. By late afternoon, Ashley and Mendeecees took a moment away from cameras to speak privately. "We can't change the past," Ashley said, voice firm yet vulnerable. "But we can control how we move forward. I don't want this to keep consuming us or defining every interaction." Mendeecees nodded, understanding the weight of the moment. "Agreed. We need to be honest, accountable, and strategic. We handle this with care for ourselves, for the crew, and for the fans." Their conversation marked a turning point up. Moment of acknowledgement and commitment to navigate the fallout responsibly. As night fell and filming wrapped, the reality of the situation was undeniable. The scandal had fundamentally shifted relationships, trust, and dynamics within the cast and crew. Both Ashley and Mendeecees were left to reflect on the personal and professional consequences of their actions. Every decision they made moving forward would be influenced by the lessons of this public exposure. The leaked receipts had proven to be more than a scandal. They were a catalyst for accountability and recalibration. Ashley and Mendeecees recognized the importance of rebuilding trust, not only with each other but also with the people around them. They understood that navigating fame, personal choices, and public scrutiny required careful consideration and unwavering honesty. Crew members, producers, and friends observed the unfolding situation with a mix of concern and fascination. The scandal had become a defining moment for the season, influencing storylines, interactions, and the emotional landscape of the show. The events revealed vulnerabilities and tested the resilience of relationships in ways that few had anticipated. By the end of the day, both Ashley and Mendeecees retreated to their private spaces, mentally processing the intensity of the hours behind them. They understood that the road ahead would be challenging, demanding patience, transparency, and deliberate action. The leaked receipts had changed everything, but they also presented an opportunity to learn, grow, and strengthen bonds in the face of adversity as the lights dimmed on the set. One thing was clear: the scandal exposed by Tasha K had irrevocably altered the narrative of love and hip-hop Atlanta. Relationships had been tested, trust had been questioned, and emotions had been laid bare. The journey to rebuild, recover, and navigate the public eye had only just begun. And every decision moving forward would carry the weight of past mistakes, public perception, and the desire to move forward stronger than before. The drama unleashed by Tasha K's receipts has shaken love and hip-hop Atlanta to its core, and the fallout is far from over. Ashley and Mendeecees are facing the harsh reality of public scrutiny, betrayal, and intense emotional pressure, all while trying to navigate their personal lives and on-camera storylines. Every interaction, every glance, and every word is being analyzed by fans and critics alike, making this one of the most explosive moments in the show's history. For viewers, this is more than just reality TV. It's a front-row seat to raw emotion, fractured trust, and the consequences of secrets exposed to the world. The affair, the leaked receipts, and the backstage tension have created a whirlwind that has already reshaped relationships and alliances. And there's no sign of it slowing down. The story is evolving in real time, and every update adds another layer to the unfolding drama. Subscribe now and turn on notifications to stay ahead of every shocking revelation, every heated confrontation, and every unexpected twist surrounding Ashley, Mendeecees, and the rest of the LHHATL cast. This is Trends Celeb, your ultimate source for the raw, unfiltered truth behind the headlines and the stories everyone is talking about. Don't miss a moment. This scandal is far from over. And the next chapter promises even more explosive drama that fans won't want to miss.